Hello, my friends. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you about my tips and everything that I have learned about making reels, and this can also be for TikToks, even though TikTok isn't my main thing. Instagram is. We all hate reels. I know that's the common denominator. Reels are no fun for anybody. Instagram wants you to post them. If you want to have a following on Instagram, you have to be posting reels to grow, which is kind of a crazy thought to have. That I remember how Instagram was like a square with one post, and now we have stories and reels and lives, and I sound like literally an old person even though I'm not. I've learned to enjoy making reels. I know how to effectively make them, and I've learned how to make reels in a sustainable way and post them around 6 times a week. I have learned in my journey creating reels that reels are the way that my account grows. I was losing followers, about like 200 followers a day before I started posting reels, and once I started to post reels consistently, like 4 to 6 times a week, I gained 55,000 followers in 3 months, which is crazy growth because I was losing followers. I was stuck at like 295 for almost an entire year because I wasn't posting reels. Once I started, my account skyrocketed, and now I'm at 355. Reels are definitely the way to grow your account, which is kind of crazy because we all knew this as a photo sharing app. It's fine. So these are all of the tips that I'm going to be sharing with you. The whole process as easy and painless as possible. Before we begin, I know you're dying to know what jewelry I'm wearing today because I always have the cutest jewelry. This section isn't sponsored. I just wanted to mention the jewelry that I was gifted by Ana Luisa, a very cute, sustainable, carbon neutral jewelry brand. It's good stuff. I always wear 3 earrings in my lobes because I have 3 piercings. I love how there's little stars. Green stones like emeralds are my favorite stones just in general, and I love rings, especially because I draw all the time. I like to have nice nails, so I like to have really pretty rings on. I just feel cute. If you are interested in trying out any pieces from Ana Luisa, I will have a link down in the description with my code SarahTepis10 so you can save 10% off of your purchase. Thank you to them for gifting me such cute jewelry so that I can always feel and look my best. Let us begin. I have my notes written down here, so if you see me looking down, it's because I am the teacher today and you are the student. The very first thing that I've learned is to consider the type of content you want to create. When you're creating content for Instagram, that's the way you must think of what you're posting. It's content. You don't want to think of it as finished pieces that you're going to be posting that put in so much work and time into and all of your energy and all of your emotions into so that the world can see. Even though you are an artist and you want to be genuine in what you're sharing online, you have to think of the content that you post on Instagram in a sustainable way. It's extremely difficult to post a finalized painting every single day because paintings sometimes can take 10 hours to make, and you're not going to be painting for 10 hours straight unless you're a freak show, and that's not sustainable. You have to think of ways that you can be posting very regularly without destroying your body and mind. The goal of creating reels is to be discovered by new people. So put yourself in the mindset of a consumer, somebody who is just scrolling on reels, looking through reels, not looking to discover new artists. What would they like to see? I kind of consider this a first impression for anybody discovering you. I think you have a couple options as an artist to post reels that will communicate the proper tone and your personality and character and art. Reels that I have made in the past and I think are good launching points are you can do aesthetic and artsy sort of studio and lifestyle reels, the ones that are set to a cute sound. You can think of these as tiny mini studio vlogs. The type of reel that I make the most is fast-paced sketching. I will explain how you can make the same types of reels without burning out and editing quickly, so none of this process is going to take a long time. It's all very sustainable. And then the last type of reel that you can make as an artist, in my opinion, this is not all-encompassing, are relatable reels. Look at me moving my hands around, waving them around. Now that you've considered the type of content that you want to create, the impression that you want to give other people, you want to post daily. I personally aim for posting 6 times a week. This sounds crazy. I will show you how to do it in a sustainable manner. Do not you worry. it's gonna be okay. The way to grow is to be posting regularly. You want to be discovered by new people, so new people are following you while you're also posting content for your actual audience. When you're posting reels, don't just make reels for your new viewers. Make content that your current followers want to see. You kind of have to balance it. I take a Sunday off. You have to take a day off. I won't make a reel on a Saturday, I'll just post one, but I'm not posting a reel on a Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. The way to post this often and not be burnt out is to maximize your content. Again, we're thinking of your art that you're creating as content, not beautiful finished pieces. If you're sketching a portrait, consider how you can get as many reels out of that portrait as possible. The way that I do this is I think about a sketch that I'm going to make, something that will take me 30 minutes. I can take like the preliminary sketch, swipe transition to the finished piece. That can be one reel. Of course, a full process reel, so sketching parts that I think are interesting, like when I draw the eyelashes and when I draw the hair and like shading on the cheeks and freckles and all that stuff. I try to think of the parts of the drawing process that I think are very fun to see. So I don't have to film the entire drawing process. I just have to film snippets when I'm drawing the eyelashes in, drawing the freckles in, drawing the cheeks. That's just a very easy way to film without using so much space on your camera, then having to sift through so much footage when you are editing. You can also do a reel where you don't have to have a lot of cuts. You can have 1 8-second, 7-second shot of you sketching. The ones that do really well for me are when I'm sketching hair, like a specific hair texture, freckles, if I'm detailing the eyes. You can just show close-ups of just that like 5-second sketching process, and those do really well. Those are great reels. In this example of a portrait that takes me 30 minutes to draw and maybe 5 extra minutes to film all of those reels, I have at least 4 reels out of that one drawing. When you're filming content and using one piece for so many reels, maybe you don't want to post them like one after the other. As you're building up a portfolio of reel drafts that you want to be posting, you can sort of mix up the different reels with the different sketches, and you get what I'm saying. So it's not just the same drawing in 4 different versions. You can have different drawings with the different versions, and you have a very interesting feed. I hate speaking. Maximizing your content like this will require planning some shots. However, once you have started doing this, once you've started planning shots and transitions, it'll be super simple to get into it and maybe write down notes. If I want to have my before shot, I want it to transition into my after shot. If you have the first clip that will transition, you might want to record a good amount of empty time before your transition, and then your second clip that starts with the transition, you want to end with like a longer amount. A lot of times when you're filming for a reel, you might not know what audio you want to set it to, like where the transition goes will be good to have it suit to whatever audio you're going to be using it for. Now that we know we have to post daily, we have to maximize our content. The best way to create content is to have content creation days. 1 day a week, set aside 2 hours to make content. This is perfect if you are good at consistent sketching. You can apply this to painting or digital art. You just have to figure out how to show the brush strokes and process for your different medium in the best way possible. I'm going to be talking about sketching because I think that sketching reels are so easy to make at this point. Map yourself out 2 to 3 hours where you can put on a show or a podcast and you can draw. You've written down the types of shots you want to get, the types of reels you want to get. One day I sat down for 6 hours, I think, to draw, and I came up with like reels for 3 weeks because I had Patreon rewards to draw. I decided to film the processes of them. So all of these reels that I've just talked about are creating art. I don't do this quite as often, but I still do. I'll post reels that are more about relatable topics. So sometimes when I don't feel like drawing or sketching or all this stuff, I want to post a quick reel and I'm scrolling through reels. There's always a new trend popping up. It's very easy a lot of times to put an artistic spin to those. You just have to have like a little bit of creativity, a little bit of cringe mentality, and some of the reels that I've made that are more relatable or funny definitely are cringy, but they're not like selling your soul. If you only make those, maybe you can feel like you're selling your soul, but I personally think it's fine once in a while to post something relatable. I think it's funny. They do well on my account. People like to see good artists having the same struggles that they do, and they also like to see an influencer or creator's personality shine through their work. So even though relatable and like funny reels can seem a little bit cringy, I do think think that they have a purpose in connecting you to your audience and making them understand your sense of humor a bit more, understanding your personality. Sparingly, I do post more relatable content as well because it's fun. It's easy to make. However, if you don't want to just be posting something that's relatable with a trending audio, other ways that you can use trending audios are to show your art journey, whether it's to show an older piece versus a newer piece, or to show the before sketch to the finished piece. People love transformation. That's one easy way to use older pieces and recycle them. One of the biggest problems I think with Instagram is that content gets so easily digested. The amount of retention that a viewer or your audience has is just a couple of seconds, and oftentimes people will forget that you painted something. I've talked to other artists and so many people are annoyed by this. I personally think it's great because if you're creating content, if somebody forgets that you've posted something, you can repost it in maybe a new way and have new content that you didn't put in time to create. Bring it back to the attention of your audience. Even somebody who's seen the piece before can be reminded that you created this piece. Instagram is not a place where you can post your art and have it be like your portfolio, fast-paced, no audience retention. But that can be used in a positive way so that you can recycle your paintings. You can post them over and over without having to create new content. As long as you have an okay portfolio and body of work, you can pick from the bottom and put it back on the top. One of the easiest types of reels to make that use these concepts. I will sometimes post a reel showing just pieces I've made in the past week or the past couple of weeks that I'm proud of. I just set them to a trending audio, like a reel that took 10 minutes to edit that shows your past work that can introduce your work to new artists or refresh it in the mind of your older audience if needed. And then when I talked about introducing yourself to a new audience, now that I've made them, I love watching them. I'm not really on TikTok. I'm just used to Instagram, and Instagram knows what I like to see, so I'm just on Reels. I get a ton of makeup reels and I see how creators will show their before and after or do a transition. There's a lot of trending audios that keep coming up that are people introducing themselves or incorporating a way to show what you make on Instagram. I would say makeup and crafters are such good types of accounts and reels to look at for inspiration to incorporate into your own reels. If you're not interested in posting your face or anything about your personal life, that's totally okay. You can post the types of drawing reels that I just recommended that you do. However, if you are open to posting about yourself, I think that an audience loves to get to know you and understand you, see into your life. So emotions that do really well, I would say the excitement to show off a new piece or to show off a sneak peek. If you're just like, I have a painting, I'm so excited, and you quickly put it in frame, or you just created something and you're like, I'm so excited, let me show you what I just created. People love those. It's like you're telling a friend you made something that you're proud of. It will do pretty well, I think. If you're a good artist, people love to see what your struggles are. And then lastly, inspirational content does so well. Whether about your art growth or the beginning stage and the ending stage of your piece, inspirational content shows other people that they can also improve in their artwork, they can chase their dreams, they can start their own business, they can be a freelancer. It shows people that their dreams are achievable. If you're a good artist, it shows somebody that you started off at a level similar to where they did once as well, and that the way that you got to where you are now is through patience and persistence. It's inspirational, motivational, people like to see it. So post it. Lastly, you have your footage, you have your ideas. How are you going to make the reel? You can edit in several software. Am I 500 years old? You can either edit on Instagram Reels, which is what I do for something that's not complicated, won't take a lot of edits. I'm not afraid of it crashing. I'll edit on the actual Instagram Reels editor. You can also use CapCut, which is a great editing software for your phone. You can use Final Cut or Movie Maker or Premiere on your computer if you would like to edit on your computer to make sure that you have the highest quality. If you didn't record on your phone, you recorded with a camera, so you just want to edit that way. Add actual good fonts and better production. You can do it on your computer. However, most of my reels I just make in Instagram. When I'm just chilling at home in my downtime and I'm scrolling through reels, one thing I like to keep in mind, I always had this part of my brain turned on, is to see if there are trending audios. You can know if an audio is trending and an audio that is going to be suggested to more people if it has a little arrow beside the name of the audio instead of the little musical notes. If it has an arrow, click it and save it for later if you like the sound, if you are intending to use it, obviously. Trending audios don't stay trending for very long, maybe a week. Ugh, can we talk about how quick the turnaround is for trends and micro trends? If you see something that's trending, try to use it within the week so that you can have as much time as possible with it being trending and people seeing it and it being shown to other people. I have not used this. This is a new feature that Instagram has. It's the template feature, which is good for matching up clips to audio or using somebody else's video as a template for your own. That'll make editing so much simpler, and it's going to take much less time to make reels from now on. Here we are. You've made your 5 million reels and you've created them and you've posted them. There are ways to get more people to see it. Hashtags are the first way that you're gonna think of. Hashtags I don't find are terribly important for growth. I don't really see a difference when I post with hashtags versus without a hashtag. When I do post with hashtags, I write a comment under my post and I use like 5 hashtags that I think are relevant to what I'm creating. So if it's a pencil drawing, I'll say hashtag pencil sketch, hashtag pencil portrait, hashtag graphite art, hashtag sketchbook drawing. I don't ever use spammy hashtags. I don't know if that works or not. I don't do that, so I can't recommend or not recommend, but I also really don't find that at least my account level that hashtags make a huge impact on my posts. You're already using a trending audio, so it's something that's going to be recommended to more people. My mouth hurts. My jaw hurts from so much talking. This is too much speaking. Once you've posted, once you have your hashtags, to get more people to see your piece, this is so clever. When you post it and people are commenting on your post, to wait until the next day to like and comment on those comments. And this is because somebody's commented, they've seen it, they're not scrolling past, they've forgotten about you because there's so many reels going on. If you respond, like their comment, and reply to their comment, the next day, they'll be reminded of you in your content and be like, they responded to me. So they go to your page, and then as they are on your page, might check out to see if you've posted again. And if you are following these tips, by that point you will have posted again because you're posting 6 reels a week. That person who had engaged with your other video is excited about you again because you replied to them and has seen your new post. This is wonderful for my social anxiety. I know it's just the internet, but I get crazy social anxiety whenever I post my art online. This has given me a good boundary for realizing I don't have to reply to every single comment all at once. I can give it a day and come back to it and reply later. This is the way that I've personally learned to sustainably post on Reels, to grow my following on Instagram, and to stay sane and not put in that much time into growing my Instagram because it's very discouraging to be working for 6 hours to post one painting on your page and then nobody likes it, and then to post a reel that took 5 minutes to make an edit that's just about some relatable topic and have 1 million people see it. If you're frustrated by these facts, give in. That's my best advice to you, because Instagram is not going to change, and if you want to make Instagram your platform, you have to succumb to the algorithm. But there are different platforms to post your content if you are unhappy with this fast-paced and video-centered form of... It's an ordeal. However, at the end of the day, you can post them on TikTok and grow your following on TikTok. I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of this flavor of talking. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know if this was helpful to you. Check out the description for 10% off your order from Ana Luisa. I'll talk to you guys in my next video.